Welcome, welcome, welcome. Adriane Hartigan von Strauch, Quantum Love Coach, greeting you from beautiful New Zealand. It's the 14th of March and it's a very, very particular time in our lives. Globally, a big crisis is arising. Health-wise, people are suddenly forced into situations like never before. I mean, it's one of the greatest crises we potentially can expect in a long time, and what we often are not aware of, how much it actually challenges and pushes our ability to stay in relationship positively, healthily and resourcefully with those we love. I speak about our partners, I speak about our husbands and wives, our fiancés, our lovers and our children, our parents. Those we really have strong relationships too. But ultimately, it's the 7C's to saving our love life and to make it really comfortable and much easier, being aware of several steps we can undertake every day of our experiences right now, and just apply them and be conscious and be willing to be, in service to other people's experiences around us. So I created these 7C's really in reflection to the big C, coronavirus. I mean, there's the crisis, other crises can be named, but we want to focus in this video today specifically about what's going on here and now. Our country, we are very lucky. The number of cases registered is still very low, and I feel really safe and comfortable in an environment here on Waiheke Island outside Auckland. I have the privilege to stay in a beautiful house, isolated, self-contained and self-caring. So I really want to call out for step number one, the C number one, communication, particularly in the times of isolation and times of being not so much connected to the outer world. We want to treat this situation first of all with respect. We want to respect everybody around us. So there is a really deep need with our loved ones and our neighbors and our community to be just very aware that it is important to show respect to each other in the most simple and most human way. And it starts with the willingness to listen and to take in what other people really have to say, without jumping in or being too fast in our approaches to judge or to make a call to why or why not we would respond. And if there's something that is really pushing our buttons, then let's apply assertiveness and really respond assertively to something that might need a little bit more time to be assessed in its very own fashion. The second C is companionship. And this is a really important one. I listened to a news agent report yesterday where a crisis manager was calling out that individuals make sure they have a crisis buddy. I mean, when we are married and when we have kids who are close to us, then that's not as difficult. But for some people to actually open up and finding this person and opening up and saying, hey, I have a moment of fear, or I need something that I don't have or didn't manage to organize. Can you help me? Or can you help me to create the resources? Or even just talk off your chest how you feel. So having a crisis buddy is a wonderful strategy to feel companionship and to feel comfortable, and let aloneness, and for some people even loneliness, disappear. Because in this time when we feel we have to isolate ourselves for very good reasons, it might need a different strategy to have emotional safety. and making a call to the outer world, you know, using our phones, using our computers, using, you know, the internet to call our parents, to call friends overseas, look out for members of the community that might live not right next door, but somewhere where we, you know, just check in, and making a call from our end before we expect someone else calling us is a really healthy way. And, you know, friendship is something interesting in this phase. Even with our lovers, we want to have aspects where we act more as a friend and be more unconditionally acceptant and loving, rather than, you know, put a lot of pressure on each other in wanting to get back quickly to what we are used to see fulfilled in each other's connection, you know. And that can affect, you know, quite deep, intimate spaces. I mean, let's be frank. I mean, you know, when there's emotional crisis, we might not feel as romantic. We might not even feel as, you know, willing to be particular, you know, affectionate, or, you know, sex life can have certainly a response in one or the other way as well. So, you know, let's just understand, we want to be open to just receive each other's messages for what is really important and maybe not as important in this very time. Care, number 3, the third C, and the words I have beneath is health, warmth and sleep. So creating a healthy environment with the best efforts possible, you know, get healthy food in the cupboards, you know, be willing to do something different in order to help the immune system to thrive, you know. Be warm, exercise more, go for walks, have the awareness that this virus is shut off and kills itself off above 26 or 27 degrees Celsius. Have internal warmth, you know, eating ginger, garlic, onions, you know, eating warming food. I mean, you know, the Asian and particularly Middle Eastern cultures know well to cook in a way that we feel balanced and really nourished. And ultimately, the sleep level needs to be balanced and really, sleep is the greatest healer here right now, particularly for those who find that the situation has changed and maybe not going out to work so much, or something is happening, or you feel unwell, you know, stay quiet, rest a lot, and understand that deep sleep is the best healer we can possibly give to each other. Yeah, number 4 stands in the heart of everything between, you know, the 3 first ones and the 3 later ones. It's commitment. It's really, you know, from our heart, thinking about the togetherness, the aspect of let's do it together. We are a unit. We are, you know, we are a bond that can overcome so much more together than individually. And really making our core relationships number 1. Be aware that this environment in which we hold a container, keeping our loved ones safe and supported, is ultimately long-term one of the greatest investments we can make. You know, have a vision for this to be overcome to something that strengthens your relationships, that makes them more sustainable, more resourceful. You know, have people around you you trust, build trust in helping together. And once we all come out of this, we will have learned who is really close to us and supports us and who might not. And, you know, if you need to make a call for something that is really unhealthy, you know, not in support of your higher good, then be open and speak with maybe professionals or with doctors or with loved ones about it, you know. But ultimately, think always that the priority is keeping everything together and contained and safe, rather than making big steps of change and radical solutions and changes and decisions that can really make you know, things much more difficult, not in the immediate but certainly long term. And when we go through separations, we know it's not a thing that we do fast. And saying this, maybe if this is your call and it's for the higher good, then, all will, lead to where it's ultimately is healthy to go. Number 5 is character. I mean, our character traits, the way we actually, apply our inner values in reflection to the outer world and our relationships, how we match each other, how are we willing to communicate and be really, really in service to each other's values. Even in the healthiest relationship, there's always one person tending to have a kind of a department where values are slightly different. It comes through background, to experiences in earlier parts of our lives, but we have an ability to match someone's values in being comfortable in helping someone. Neurolinguistic programming is designed to help people to actually make greater friendships and connections in business and in our personal lives, in matching their behavior or their way of presenting a particular way of being to the world. A mirroring aspect is very, very important when we want to really be empathetic and loving with one another. Saying this, we need to hold a bigger vision for what is right and important and valuable to us, and our inner calling. And in the midst of all this crisis, we may not lose, touch with what is really important to us. Values and our core needs count and are prime, and we need to learn to express them and call, out for needs being met, while it's maybe not as easy for other people to respond to it. So it's an incredible time where we can show a lot of goodness in us and kindness and really willingness to create space for each other's way of bringing something into a territory of change that is not really, really defined yet. Yeah. So number 6 is creativity. A C I absolutely love. It's my work, it's my practice, my complete passion. And yet, creativity can be misunderstood a little bit. I really talk about the creative approach to beliefs, to ways of thinking and feeling, and also to solutions. I mean, there's a lot we need to look at. It gets from the most basic supplies of what we eat and what we drink and how we sleep, and how we shower and how we stay healthy and hygienic in the midst of all this, versus the more creative needs that express themselves in the feeling world and in the communicational world and in the artistic world. And creativity can expand our horizon a lot if we are willing to let other ideas come in and let other people be creative and have input in something that is potentially very important and life-saving to us. Then please, be open. And it can start with something as simple of, waking up in the morning and saying, oh, I'm grateful for this and that, and have journals in which we actually write ideas down that are deep to us, or, even have a diary of expressing our feelings in words, and maybe painting a painting, or taking even your iPhone and shoot photos on the beach or in your garden or even in your house, or make things happen that are usually not in your forefront. So make creativity a trait that is practical and yet really, really super freeing and freedom-based, because ultimately, if we don't have the freedoms at home and might live in isolation and might live in this uncertainty to when we go back to work, or to when something is changing to the positive, so that we can feel, resourced and safe again. Yeah, ultimately it's that last big C that makes all the difference. So we have the word that I'm really, really choosing as first of the 3 here is peace. I mean, really making an effort to come back to a peaceful and content state every moment of this crisis. This might be not always easy. We might not feel well. We might have, loved ones who are sick and need really our attention. But even then, find ways to keep, peaceful and go back to your inner core and balance it through positive alignments, through a way of, balancing our belief structures, to call out for, what we are faithful about. It could be a spiritual path, it could be your religion, it could be your faith. It could, through some simple awareness that, we share faith and we share a particular path of, expressing our love to God, the universe, to the higher existence of it all with our loved ones. That can be a huge, huge, huge support. Prayers are hugely helpful. Families that pray, play, and think positive have a wonderful way to survive. It's something that is actually given in the relationship realm, and healing relationships is actually a very fundamental thing. Families that take time to share positive conversations on a dinner table, sharing food and being celebrative with each other and honoring each other's existence in our lives. This is something so important. So I think with this, I want to close and really wish everybody who has just took the time and the openness to receive my inspiration. I want to thank you. I want to send you love and blessings to wherever you are on the planet, whatever your situation is. Feel blessed, feel supported. My prayers are with you. And if you want personal support and talking to me one-to-one, in the description box below is a link to my website. On this website, on the homepage, is a click to ask for a discovery session. So 30 minutes of my time is my gift to you to assess and help you through whatever you might go through while your love life is in crisis, in the bigger crisis of things, or some questions want to be answered. Even as a single, if you feel scared or lonely or need a conversation about, what's happening in the past, or how you want to create a future that feels more hopeful and more sustainable, call out, email me. We can meet online, in this time where we might not be able to meet at the same place. I coach in every single corner of this planet, and the wonderful thing is that Zoom, WhatsApp, Skype, our phones, the internet is there to make it really easy and really comfortable for us to have deep conversations in a very, very, very safe manner. So please call out. All my sessions from today on for the next month till the 15th of April are half price. I decided to give the world an invitation to work with me for a starting fee that is potentially more comfortable for you. So, my invitation to give this 50% gift to you is here, and the first half an hour is my gift, regardless to whether you decide to continue working on with me or just have one conversation to enlighten your situation right now. Namaste, wishing you all the best with love and blessings from New Zealand. Your quantum love coach, Adriane Hartigan von Stauch.